Welcome to a new era, where the future meets the past.
Finland is not real.
Above and beyond.
Helen Keller was a fraud.
Beyond.
It's never too early for Christmas.
There's a new place.
Grandma always says you need a lemon tree.
And a new time.
Temperature isn't real.
Perhaps the right place.
Lost my penis in the early 90s.
Right place, then the right time. Discovery awaits. Right time. Right place, right time.
Did you watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
I did not. I haven't gotten around to it yet, even though it's been out for like 4 days.
Yeah, this past weekend.
Because the thing is, I want to watch it with my family. We watched the first one in theaters.
Okay.
I watched it like 4 times in theaters. Loved it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do that again this time. Like the whole family watch it together.
Yeah.
They're all busy. So dude, multiple times I've been this close to just leaving and watching it myself.
Yeah. Just solo.
But I love them too much.
So real quick, I did watch it. I've seen it 3 times.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
So I wanted before I talk about it.
Once a day?
Yeah, well, I saw it once Thursday, I saw it once Friday, and I saw it once Saturday.
Damn.
But before I talk about it, I'm just curious first, what did you think of the first one?
I loved the first one.
And what have you heard about this one?
I loved the first one.
Okay.
And I've heard only good things about the second one.
Okay.
Literally. And I don't know. It looks pretty good. I've seen a few things that are just kind of like, well, you know, that's just how some movies are.
Yep.
But it looks promising. Sounds promising.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the highest scored movie on Letterboxd right now?
It is, and I don't think it deserves it. But yeah,
Let's hear the hot take without spoiling anything.
Of course not. Well, here's who. No. So, yeah. No. So I saw it, and leading up to it, I will say, like a lot of the reviews I read, I like to normally read the like from the early press screenings. I like to I like to read the social media embargo reviews, which don't spoil anything. They're just kind of what these people thought about it. All the reviews I read and saw like on TikTok were not only like great, they made this movie sound like the best movie ever made. Like they were all like super high. And like here's the thing, I really like the first one. Mm-hmm. I'm not someone who thinks that animated movies can't be good. Personally, I like live action more than animated. Right. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's the truth. That's just what I think.
Right.
So I really like the first one a lot. And on my Letterboxd, I have it at a 4.5, not a 5. 4.5.
Is 5 the highest you can go?
It is the highest.
I don't have Letterboxd. So.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
I need to do that soon.
You should.
Just clarifying that it's a 4.5 out of 5, not out of 10. then we'd have issues.
Yeah. No, it's out of 5. It's out of 5.
Solid,
which makes it a little harder because when I rate... Okay, that's a tangent. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, you know what? This movie better be good. Okay. So I go into it, watch it. And so here's the thing. It's really good. It's pretty great.
Awesome.
It's not, in my opinion, what everyone says it is. One of the biggest things I heard, 2 things actually. One was, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
I think the first one is the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
Okay. That's a little interesting. It's okay though. That's actually fair.
Yeah.
2, I heard that this is the best comic book movie ever made. I heard that a lot. So here's what I read. Here's what I wrote. It's not that long. I said, I went into this movie expecting it to be damn near perfect. Hearing all the hype and reviews it got, gonna be completely honest, I thought it was pretty great, but I also feel like I'm missing something. I've heard countless reviews saying things like this movie could be in the convo for best comic book movie of all time, or that the entire thing was just breathtaking. I didn't get that. Don't get me wrong, the artwork is something to behold and pretty incredible. I love that. The story was good. Loved all of Miles' screen time, and Miguel was fantastic. Not you. Miguel, who is Spider-Man 2099, he was sick. I said, but I just didn't feel this next level feeling that I'm seeing. I personally like the first one more.
Okay, interesting.
Not a negative review by any means, just saying I think some people are overdoing it. And I will say, this isn't a spoiler. It ends on like a pretty massive cliffhanger.
Okay, that would explain why I'm seeing so many people freak out about, I gotta watch the next one now.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm seeing those.
And people, I think, failed to understand, because they said this before this movie came out, like a year or two ago. This is a part 1. Like, they just renamed it. So this was Across the Spider-Verse. The third one is Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Right, I do that.
But in the beginning, it was part 1 and part 2. So I knew that going into
glad
it.
They
It's just
name it part 1 and part 2, because that's the stupidest thing ever. Just like Harry Potter, they have part 1 and part 2. Just have them be 2 separate movies titles, please.
Yeah. I think that it messed a lot of people up in this one. Not a lot of people didn't know that. Anyway, I'm just saying, I really liked it. It was great. It is not the best comic book movie of all time. Not even close.
What would you think is the best comic book movie of all time?
Oh, dude, I don't know. For me, Logan has been in my top 3.
That's a good one. But
here's the thing. Okay.
Is it a good comic book movie? It's a great movie, but
because
I don't feel it's very comic booky.
It's not comic booky, but it's based on the comic of Old Man Logan. It's pretty accurate.
Right, but
so that's what I classify as a comic book movie. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily, like, Spider-Verse, the first and this one, they feel comic booky because they look like it. That's what the artwork is supposed to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
But a live action movie, of course, isn't going to look the same way that an Into the Spider-Verse movie will, but it can feel the same. Like, to me,
similar, but like, I mean, there are so many things within comic books that are super over the top or super like crazy, which they don't do in current comic book movies.
But it doesn't always have to translate, in my opinion, because sometimes it is. It's over the top, which makes it better in comic form. That's like the cool part of it. Like,
right, and because they don't translate it, what they had to do is, so you're saying that Logan, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
You're saying it's a great comic book movie because the original comic doesn't do what normal comics do and sticks to realism.
No, I think it's just that it was a cool take because the character of Logan is like this grizzled, just dude who's kind of been through a lot by the end of his life. A lot of tragedy and a lot of just hard things that have happened to him. So seeing this, like, the way he goes out with this Old Man Logan tale of he's kind of getting older, his healing powers aren't as good, but he's going to, like, that story, it's not because they held back. I just liked it because it's a good story.
Comic booky to me. Like, I, in my mind, don't see that as like a comic book movie because it's not as over the top or as explosive as most comic book stories are. It's more like a graphic novel type movie.
Well, yeah, but then I think that's just like comics that are subjective because they're all different stories, right? Like,
right. But
like Shazam comics are going to be different from Batman comics, which are going to be different from Wolverine.
True.
It's all different. Like, they're just different stories.
I guess, I don't know.
So it's whatever you want, right? Like, if you want some
it's
crazy...
whatever your idea of a comic book movie is. Because my idea of a comic book movie is more animated, not like literally, but more like emotionally explosive, like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
Those feel more comic booky to me.
Sure. I mean, I was going to say also, besides Logan, I like to, like, okay, in my head, so like Avengers Endgame,
of course,
is very comic booky in some aspects to me because, for one, like the biggest exhibit for me for that is the final fight.
The cast of characters. Yeah, that's
like a splash page, right? Like,
exactly.
That would be that would be a 2-page artwork thing of like literally out of the comic. So in that respect, that's pretty good. Captain America Civil War is pretty comic booky too, in the fights that you get, the characters you get, like that's pretty comic booky. So I would say that's not in my top 3, but that is pretty comic booky.
Those I would agree are more comic booky.
Yeah.
It's just
No Way Home is in my top 3. In fact, it's probably my number 1.
Comic book movie?
I mean, yeah, just because inherently it's based on like Spider-Man, so it's a comic book movie.
I mean, the movie's not the best.
Oh, it is.
It's
the best Marvel movie ever.
I disagree. It's nostalgia bait.
No. I don't think it is. I've heard that a lot. I mean, we can definitely talk about it. That's fine. I'm not like, I just don't think that that's true.
Yeah, no,
I've heard it a lot.
I see it as nostalgia bait.
See, I don't think it is because the way it uses, like, you're only saying that because Tobey and Andrew are in it. That's pretty much it.
And all of the other characters.
Sure. But it's done in a way where it kind of sort of as a story makes sense in the context of the Marvel Spider-Man, right?
Right.
He has these relations with other heroes. And, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it before,
it
too.
was like a soft reset, too, because they didn't give us the original Spider-Man that everyone thinks of.
Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the best written Spider-Man.
I don't
And if you
agree with that.
disagree,
I
that's okay,
disagree.
but you are wrong.
I completely
He's
disagree.
the best written. His story is the best of all the three, easily.
Okay, best written objectively as a written story, yes, but
Yes.
he's not the Peter Parker that most people know, because most people don't know Peter Parker as right out the gate joining the Avengers. Right?
And you know what else?
That's
See,
why-
that's
That's why they had to soft reboot him.
It's also because people don't really know Peter Parker either, because he is the closest Peter Parker, the most accurate.
No.
Just because he joins the Avengers doesn't mean he's not accurate. His character portrayal is the most
Yes,
accurate.
his character portrayal, but what they put
Easily.
him in is just not. It's not right. Not to mention the fact that he had to relearn the whole.
Well,
With great power comes a great responsibility from
Sure.
his aunt, as opposed to we barely heard anything from Uncle Ben.
sure.
There
I mean,
was very little
okay.
Uncle Ben talk, even though he's supposed to be the main like motivation behind Peter Parker. Not to
Sure.
mention, they did say, I don't remember where. I'll have to look this into this, but they wanted to set Tom Holland's Peter Parker aside from the previous ones, so they took inspiration from Miles Morales.
With Genki being Ned Leeds, that is the biggest inspiration.
Also,
the character,
like, his setting with the Avengers, because that's one of the like in some there are certain comic lines where Miles Morales trying to live up to Peter Parker,
Yes.
joins the Avengers.
correct. But I would just ask you, you do understand that in the comics, like the old comics, like Spider-Man is an Avenger. You know that,
Every
right?
now and then, but that's never been like his
No,
main
no,
thing.
it is a big thing. He like one of his biggest storylines has been him being part of the Avengers. However, he's not the leader of the Avengers. Like he's part of it. So again, what I would say is this: it's not what you're used to. However,
It's totally weird, but I'm
No.
I'm
Hold on.
excited for the soft reboot of him being, back down to earth, regular Spider-Man, and not using Stark tech for all of his adventures.
okay. So again, I would say this: we had two previous Spider-Man stories where we got the origin story.
Yes.
That is the classic tale of Uncle Ben. Okay, here's Peter. Whatever. Nostalgia fans like Toby's the best. Some people like Andrew. Personally, Andrew's my favorite.
I like Andrew a ton.
He's great.
Absolutely.
Having said, and his Spider-Man character in suit was the most accurate portrayal that
Yes.
you had seen of Spider-Man ever
Yes.
because of his quips and whatever.
Yes.
Tom Holland's, I still say, is the most accurate. And to what you're saying that discredits it, again, I would just say this. In my personal opinion, and this isn't like a dig at you, I'm just saying it's like a criticism that isn't, it has no room, because you have to like live with what we have, right? So like so like the Marvel
it's just-
universe exists,
Yeah.
and they're bringing in Spider-Man, and they couldn't for a while because the
It was
rights
owned by Sony, right?
so they couldn't. And so when they finally did, they brought him in during Civil War, which was in itself in Avengers like 2.5.
Right.
So they brought him into that way, whatever. I still think it's the best because in his movies, you still get to like go with his character through most of the story. And personally,
I think he is an accurate Peter Parker, but I don't feel like the world and the experiences that he's going through is accurate Peter Parker stuff, if that makes sense. Like him as an individual,
right.
he's fine. Like I'm excited to see him now that no one remembers him and now he's alone in New York and he's just going through things. That's the Peter Parker we know. I'm not used to seeing him in space fighting Thanos. That's
Okay.
super weird.
But that's
especially with like Iron Spider. He's like
okay.
Tony
That's
Stark's-
one scene out of his 3 movies, though, and that wasn't even
all
in
of
one
them.
of his movies.
Most of the movies, I was
No,
just-
but I'm
they were
saying
super
going to
weird.
space. That's in one movie. That's in
Going
an
to space.
Avengers movie.
Right, but like the first
The
movie,
rest- the Homecoming is great.
I like the first movie, except for all of the Iron Man scenes, because that's weird that he's getting directly like mentored by Iron Man, because the whole thing was he's carrying on Ben's like.
Yes.
So again,
This
it's
is what
not
I'm saying.
him,
It's
it's
like-
the surrounding of everything, right?
Yes.
that's my issue that I had with Tom Holland. Like, is he well written? Absolutely. It's just kind of like a bummer that this is how we got introduced to him.
So it's really like it takes away that much from you that in the world that exists, they can't adapt and make it a story. Like, because
It's just a bummer that he got introduced there.
To Tony, while it is criticized, it became one of the kind of nicest things that was kind of relatively grounded because, I mean, Tony was the one who kind of gave him some platform.
Like to begin with.
Which, okay, this is, all right. I'm not going to, like, keep going. But, yeah, all right. So you're just mad because the toy box is too big. That's it. That's pretty much your only complaint. Which, in my opinion, is not a fair criticism of Tom Spiderman.
No,
That's a criticism of... It's interesting. Well, actually, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to cut, I think, a lot of that because we're at like half an hour right now.
Oh, my.
And I'd like to get to the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But
we'll see.
We can talk off screen about more of that stuff.
That goes behind the paywall.
That's definitely beyond the paywall. So, like, super clean transition. Did you see the Apple launch today?
I did.
The keynote.
I saw bits and parts on, like, TikTok scrolling through.
Okay.
First of all, hate how everyone's calling it new VR headset. It's an AR headset.
Yes.
Let's get that damn clear.
That's right.
You're not playing
No, it's not a game.
You're not playing no games on this thing.
No. It's, I'm going to be honest, man, like, I've done VR like 2 or 3 times.
Same.
It's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
I've seen a lot of VR, they try to push the boundaries, Oculus and I don't even know, Meta. They try to push the boundaries. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be buying, what is it called? Apple, or no, Vision something, I think. Something like that?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be buying $3,500.
$3,500?
So I'm not planning on buying it.
Sheesh.
Having said that, I'm not going to lie. It's one of the trippiest looking ones I've seen. And like you said, it's not VR, it's AR,
Do you
but
remember
it looks pretty crazy.
The HoloLens?
The what?
Was it the Microsoft HoloLens from like 8 years ago?
No, I remember the Google Glass though.
Right, this was after that.
Okay.
It was pretty much what Apple's doing now.
Yeah.
I don't think they
But like glasses?
No, it was like
like a full.
It's like a full visor. It looked very similar, and it was basically the same thing. I don't think it ever got released in mass, but to me it looks like almost the same thing, slightly better because it's been like 8 years.
I was gonna say I know that Marvel. I know that Apple's been like developing this for a while.
Yeah. And
based on what they released to promo it, I mean, it looks like it works clean. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. Like you can pull your MacBook desktop onto your Vision,
which is pretty sick. It's gonna be janky. That's
crazy.
Though, it's always janky.
You think? I don't think
everything
it will.
that they ever say, "Oh, this is gonna happen," it works.
Sure.
Just a little janky.
But then they normally patch that within like the first 6 months. They release an update that like cleans it up. Hopefully. I mean, it's interesting.
I do think that the fact that Apple's doing this means that we've gotten to some point in technology where this is gonna start being normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of Black Mirror-esque.
Totally. I mean, because
it's like in the commercial for it, you got like a dad at the breakfast table with his headset on. Like that's weird.
That's super weird.
Right?
What are you watching?
Well, that's the other crazy thing is how. So it comes with, because Apple and Disney are like connected. So it comes with Disney Plus, and I mean I feel like it's that in itself is kind of innovative because you can watch whatever you want, and like while you're sitting there on the couch watching it, you can like just with your hand move it and shrink it. Like that's what's crazy because the tech uses hand and sight. So like that to me, the hand thing,
like eye to see.
It's almost like Iron Man's tech, where it's like you just do stuff with your hands. Like you're looking at things, and with your hands you're like enlarging and pick. Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird.
Like I mean, it looks kind of cool, but I don't know. It's trippy.
Hopefully they have these in Apple stores and they'll let people like walk in and mess with it.
Yeah,
because I want to experience that. I want to at least That's crazy.
$3,500 is a crazy price tag.
It's a ton, dude. Yeah. Especially because it's not for games.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, it's real. Games. It's like real. Yeah.
It's like, hey, do you want your laptop but on your face?
Exactly.
For $3,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
That's wild.
No.
I'm curious. I saw something that like the front uses technology to like show your eyes to people,
which is weird.
which
but
is
I
really
guess-
weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So
trying
it's
to make it
so
like
it's like
realistic.
so people can see
Exactly.
if you're in it or not.
Yeah. Which, man, like that. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. You just like that. I mean, dude. I mean, imagine what you could do with like, dude. You could virtually be like, dude. Forget going to casinos. Forget apps. I'm gambling on my AR headset, bro.
But here's another
I'm
thing.
there.
Like, how many VR experiences are going to be made specifically for this? Because it's not compatible with the games. It's not compatible with any of the other VR headsets that are out now. Or the things that have been made for that. So how many, like, VR experiences can you have other than, oh, my tabs are up there, I'm watching YouTube here, and Disney Plus back there? Because that's what it looks like. It's just going to be...
Sure.
It's like your computer is now living in the room with you.
You know what I think is going to happen? What you're saying? I think it's going to be... I mean, I think they're purposely not trying to be associated with VR games. They're like, no, this is like real life with VR, AR. So what I think is what you're gonna see is it's not games that go compatible. I think a lot of applications that you use on your phone and computer are gonna get AR adapted. So imagine doing Photoshop with an AR headset where you can you can zoom. You can, with your hands, you can maybe color draw, like cut whatever on your headset.
Yeah.
You do things like that. You do like GarageBand on your AR headset. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, still like that. So I'm saying like those kinds of apps I feel are going to be the ones that do, they make the rounds with that.
Imagine playing 3D Angry Birds, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like on a table, it scans the table and you could...
Sure. Yeah.
That'd be... Yeah. I would get it just for that.
See, that's why like... the VR headsets that are out right now, I feel like they're not like realistic yet
because they're not AR. That's what the HoloLens was trying to do. I'll have to show you afterwards because that's basically what it was supposed to be. Sure. It was the Windows version of this, which I think has been out for a while, but only a select few have it because it was for like testing purposes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm intrigued. I mean, yeah, I'd like to try it if I could. I think that'd be cool. I think. I don't know. I remember when I don't know how old I was. I was maybe like 10 or 11 or something. I remember going to Office Max, and they had this thing that was like a little box that you could put on your desk. Yeah. And it would illuminate a hologram keyboard. Yeah. And it worked, but it was a hologram keyboard. Yeah. And I remember like, dude, like that's sick. Like that's so cool. And like now, it's just trippy to see what they're doing.
How far we've come. You know what's a weird thing? So every now and then I'd go to Old Navy for clothes when I was younger. Okay. And in the kids' clothing section, they used to have this little like thing on the floor that was something was projected. It's like a projector was on the ceiling and it was projecting it onto the floor and it was interactive. So like they had a little soccer ball and you could stand on this projected image and kick the soccer ball around. Yeah. Really weird that Old Navy was doing that, but it's cool. And now, like you said, how far we've come. Yeah. Now we're projecting it in our glasses, in our eyes.
Yeah. And now we got AI DJs on Snapchat or Spotify.
Yeah. Well, the AI Snapchat's weird too.
Oh, is it?
Dude,
I don't have
the AI. Dude, are we gonna have an AI in the vision?
Oh yeah.
That way we could just be like, "Hey Jarvis."
Well, that's what I was gonna. Yeah, it's just Jarvis. Yeah, straight up. Well, dude, I mean,
Siri.
I was gonna say Siri. Literally. Yeah.
Hey Siri. I'm excited just for that, just so I could be Iron Man.
Siri. Well, yeah, you can say all sorts. Siri, call me Tony. Call me
Siri,
Iron Man.
Call me Tony.
Yeah, and then I mean. Oh, there's your Siri. Look at that. That's crazy.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think another. Speaking of, I didn't. It was like the Spotify DJ was like kind of beta tested for a while. Yeah. And then this past week I was like driving home, and I kind of wanted to
give it a
switch.
Shot.
Well, I wanted to switch what I was listening to, and I didn't even know that I had it or had access to it. And I saw it, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. And it was like, yo, what's up? I'm Alex. And I was like, whoa. And he was like, so today I'm going to be playing some recently played for you. Let's see what you got. And it plays like some stuff. Here, I'll show you what it sounds like. And then it plays some stuff. And whenever you want to switch it up, it'll just switch it up. So like, here's
where would I find it? Because I want to see if I have it.
Now, disco, starting with something from Donna Summer.
and then it just.
He sounds like pause it. You don't want to get copyright.
Oh
strike.
yeah, you're right.
He sounds like, who's that guy with the glasses, the big poofy hair? He's got a talk show. He was on America's Got Talent for a minute, I think.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, he sounds like Howard Stern.
I wonder if they're all different. So like this is DJ or like disco, and then if you want to change it, you just press this, and then
All right, we're moving on to some editors' picks. Music that's taking off as we speak. These are the most viral songs in the world right now. Starting with this one from Colin.
Damn, no, he sounds
it's-
like Black Howard Stern. He sounds like Black Howard Stern.
Feel at home with these next artists. You listen to most of them.
Can you talk to him?
No, not right now.
That's crazy.
So for me, the way I found it was, I went to, there's a Made for You tab,
Yeah.
and it's just right there. It just says DJ.
No way. Is this in search or?
Yeah, go to search and then Made for You. And DJ.
Oh,
There
shit.
you go.
I do have it.
There you go.
Oh, I'm gonna have to mess with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of AI doing things for us, like giving you a personalized playlist. I've messed around with an AI editing software. Or I guess it's not a software; it's a program online.
Yeah.
Opus Pro.
Okay.
The whole marketing thing is it takes your long form YouTube videos, you throw it into this, and it
Yeah.
spits out like 9 or 10 short form vertical clips. It like tracks who's talking, gives you, and the thing is, it edits, it watches the entire thing, chooses what goes together to make a coherent like story,
Yeah.
puts it together, does cuts, does jumps, does small edits, and it gives you a like
That's
30-second
crazy.
to a minute
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And I tried it out. It's made for podcasts.
Yeah.
I tried it with our our Neil Breen, and I don't know how many of those you saw.
I saw a good amount of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't really make sense. There's no beginning, middle, or
Yeah.
end. There's no like through idea.
It's just.
It just looks like a clip and then it ends, right? So I think it's mostly made. You're gonna have to try it on I don't know this episode, see what it comes up with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it did a damn good job at like getting the subtitles correct. The edits are solid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty trippy.
It is pretty trippy. I pushed it obviously by giving it a movie review video.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, it's stealing jobs.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you seen the Premiere Pro has like a new AI feature that does exactly what you're saying?
Edits?
Uh-huh. It transcribes.
I
Cuts.
do use the transcription. I do not cut it.
It does. It does what it'll go through your video and it cuts it for you. It'll sync audio and video. It'll do like everything. It's crazy.
Much.
It's pretty
I like
wild.
that is pretty wild. I'm gonna have to mess with that.
Yeah.
Because there's this one. I mean, there are obviously Adobe has multiple AI systems, and I like a lot of them. They help you in like After Effects with keying. In Premiere Pro, one of the best things they have is called the Remix tool. You could take any audio, like any song. Let's say you make an edit, you add a song to it, but the song's too long, and you don't want to cut the. You just literally drag it, make it to the length of your edit, and the AI will go through and edit the song to then be that length without any like cuts or jumps, and it's just a smooth track. That I love it. Same with the transcription. I don't have to do subtitles. That's great too, but to just scan footage and cut it out is crazy.
Oh yeah. No, man, their capability is far beyond us. Yeah. No,
They need to stop. Stop it.
No, it's too late now.
Yeah,
Did you see? There was a video I saw. I'll end on this. There was a video that was on YouTube. I don't know the channel. I just only saw this online, and it's like a very poorly kind of like 3D animated like SpongeBob
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
that like gained like.
sentience.
It was like talking to Patrick, and it was like, "Have you heard of the Matrix, or that we're in a simulation?"
Yeah,
and they're talking about how like, well, maybe we need to get out of the sim. Like, dude, what?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's a thing now where they'll just take
crazy.
AI,
Yeah.
writing voice to text, and
Yeah.
they'll have it like they did this with Seinfeld for a while. Seinfeld, however the hell you want to say it.
Yeah.
Where they just had poorly animated characters, and then they gave all of it to AI just so that AI could continuously have
Yep.
Seinfeld. And they did it with SpongeBob, and then
Yeah.
eventually they were just like, "We're innocent." Didn't they say they killed Joe Rogan too?
Yeah. Yeah. That was at
Patrick,
the end.
Joe Rogan is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to stop that. Pull the
Yeah.
plug on that.
That's like next level.
Here's what we need to do. We need to take AI as a whole, make a humanoid weak, just so that we can beat the hell out of it and then kill it. No,
See, that's the first mistake, because then that AI tells its other AI friends, which is like the whole metaverse about what happened. Well, there's a AI humanoid robot right now.
Sophia.
Yes, but there's another one that's like, I just saw a video recently where they had, or maybe it was her, they had her on 60 Minutes, and the guy was asking it questions.
I think that's Sophia.
And like it was recent, and yeah, man, like you see it thinking, and you're like, that's crazy. Like I don't remember what he asked it, but he was saying stuff about like, well, what do you think about this, or like, do you feel this? And it was like, well, I can't feel yet, but and like, what do you mean yet?
Yeah, no more AI, please.
Yeah.
No more. Let's shut
that-
it down.
Yeah, yeah, we might. Yeah, we might need to take care of that.
Yeah.
Like we might need to intervene. Like I'm saying, like us personally.
Oh yeah, sorry AI, but
Like-
we're stepping up now.
Like I know that Elon and
Yeah,
like
no.
I'm sure Bezos and Musk and all them, like I'm sure they're for it, but it's like
Yeah.
no
No AI,
more.
please.
That's it.
It needs to be nothing more than a tool. It can't be okay. You know what pisses me off so much? People who are going down the AI pipeline to just pump out content, like cheap and easy content, to then just make money on like TikTok, where they'll take Joe Rogan's podcast, use Opus Pro, throw those out. That's not your stuff. You're not a creator.
Sure.
You're not, they throw on the gameplay footage.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, they have like an ADHD trap that if you're scrolling on TikTok, you're going to stay to watch.
I mean, I agree. Part of me, I don't blame them because it's that easy.
Right.
But the other
it's
part,
like-
I mean, it's not their stuff. But like, I mean, shoot, it's that easy. Do it now.
Yeah, but there's just like
Like-
no honor. If you're a
Oh,
con,
sure.
if you're a con artist, I can respect you for sticking to the con and like pulling off a good con, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But don't call yourself a businessman, right?
Sure.
Just like these people. I respect you for finding the meta and for sticking with it and for pumping things out. Do not call yourself a content creator.
No. I mean, I think most of them are like just obscure accounts on TikTok that do
No,
that.
there's people who are making mad bucks off this, and they're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
sure.
I'm a full-time content creator."
Yeah.
You are not doing nothing but regenerating.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, keep your eyes peeled
yeah,
for AI, or else it's gonna be a buy. Huh? Careful. Yeah. All right.
doom and gloom.
Yeah. Next week, tune in to see an entire episode written by AI. Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not. But